Hello. I've got to work on the start, haven't I? Hello, welcome. And oh my God, we've got such a lot of things to talk about today. And save with crypto. I just noticed the number of viewers started at 5. I started talking, and now it's down at 0. So sorry about that. I do hope somebody's watching. Let me just kind of restart that a bit. And, we've got one person watching, yay, on the Save with Crypto channel, which is good. I'm going to post something into the Discord. Just a second. Just going to say, oh hey, we're live. But everyone, just spam the Discord. We're live. And where else could I put it? I could probably put it on X as well. That might get at least like a couple of views. Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, it's on the same window. I've got to open this way. Couldn't find it. All right. So I'm going to put that on the one where it kind of has the links. I'm just going to. Sorry. Give me a second. This will all work out. We can get going. We're live. We're live. Join us. Drink. Okay. And has that made a difference? Yes, we got people watching. Excellent. Hello, people. And let's have a quick run through the chat first of all, just see who's here, and then we'll get into the topics and whatnots. So, that's me actually, just saying hi from the Mafftopia YouTube channel. Hello, me. We've got Save with Crypto saying hi from the Save with Crypto channel, and obviously this is live streaming to the Save with Crypto channel, as well as the Mafftopia channel. That's like the backup channel. I think probably in the sense that when I set it to stream to there, it gets Save with Crypto's backup slightly. We got James. Hello. Hi, I made it, but I have to leave soon, so almost. One day I'll get a whole stream live. Yeah, hope so. That'd be good. And we got Kaz. Hello, Kaz. Welcome. Happy Friday. Also, happy Friday to James. Wasn't excluding you from the well-wishing. I feel so out of the loop, been mega busy at work, so not being able to look at charts for a few days. Well, we'll certainly get you caught up on all of that today, because I hear tell that Donald Trump made an announcement just a few hours ago that he's brokered a peace deal in Iran. Amazing. Does anyone believe him? It's obviously it's been noted that it was just in time for the SpaceX IPO coming up as well. Just get a nice, decent, healthy market for that. So yeah, how many times has he done that now? Is he announced that they've made a breakthrough, or they're approaching a breakthrough? Always the same day of the week. Just pump the markets, and then following shortly after, just short the markets, as they go. So yeah, Scotty, hello. Iran officials have already declared the peace deal is BS. Yeah, I saw that. It's just they must sigh each time. Here we go again. And yet the markets react, don't they? They kind of they rally. 1 second. Oh, sorry. I think I need that bit of caffeine. Yeah. So let's have a look. So our itinerary for today, then, things to go through. Obviously, the charts. Actually, let's bring up a chart. I think I've been kind of quietly shilling Quadzilla while I was talking there. Worth briefly mentioning. So it's the page is in euros today. So I think it might my VPN might be going through Portugal at the moment. So yeah, you can get Quadzilla, basically this many indicators in one premium indicator for €95 a month, or £80, and some amount in dollars. I can't remember. That's on the monthly plan. If you go to the yearly plan, it's 70, or it works out at €70 per month, or £60, I think we did. Yeah. But for that, you get a whole bunch of stuff that we'll just kind of organically use during the live stream, just to show that, because it really is the best indicator. Once you get using it, it just kind of prints money virtually. It's just so spot on with its calls, its signals, and the key levels to watch for and things like that. And we have built-in stats for that, so you can kind of see how it how it's faring on each chart, like each asset pair and time frame and so on. And it's also quite useful. So when you're changing the settings within Quadzilla, you can kind of change the settings and then have the live stats module running within TradingView, and it just kind of shows, so you can see exactly how your changes are affecting its accuracy on those particular charts. So that's with look. Yeah, so you get the quad momentum oscillator, retracement patterns, and, as I say, built-in retracement stats, a whole bunch of other stuff that's not even listed. And yeah, retracement patterns, it says, are very much exclusive to Quadzilla. You just don't see them anywhere else, and they're insane in a good way, and they give you a trading edge for sure. So that's that. Did a bit more shilling. And come back to the other tabs, probably. We're going to talk about Cardano as well. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin price as well. So what else we got? Oh, we've got a blue screen. Yay. Hopefully not a blue screen of death, just a tranquil blue screen. We can stare at that for a moment and breathe. Okay. now to the chaos. So Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, I just left that on. Let's move that note. So, yeah, this is Bitcoin then on the daily. We can have a quick look at this. Yeah, okay. What are we going to talk about here? We could maybe, if we just jump first to let's make sure it's on that one, to a lower turn time frame, say a 30-minute, and just see what's going on. So on here, so has there been much volatility given Trump's announcement? It seems like the market just hasn't really particularly reacted very much so far, is it? Oh, actually, one thing, let me just bring up the comments, and I'll try to remember that, Sarah, and just move this over a bit. This is so that people on different platforms, because we're streaming to several different platforms at the moment, and so if you're on one particular platform, you wouldn't necessarily see all the live comments. So this way you do. Hooray! So, and also just very quickly, Kaz, I keep getting over 100%. Oh, what are we talking about? Over 100%. I keep getting over 100%, which is obviously not possible. What am I done to mark it up somehow? 100% of what? Like awesomeness? Or oh, in the stats box. That's interesting. That's yeah, okay, I'll have a look at that. Do you mean like it says 101%, that sort of thing? So I'll definitely look at that, because obviously that it shouldn't be showing over 100%. So we'll probably pick that up in the Discord or something, actually, just because there might be certain things going on. Don't know. Maybe then I'd be looking at isn't a percent, but it probably is. So anyway, so yeah. So just saying. So Trump's announcement, the market doesn't seem to have reacted all that much. So, but then again, I think once the US opens at 2:30 UK time, then we could well see something of a reaction at that point. In the meantime, yeah, so on the 30-minute, this is a lovely retracement level that we showed in here. So that started printing back on Sunday, the 7th, and so essentially, when these start printing, they're essentially saying that, oh hey, we're expecting the price to come back down to this level, wick slightly below it, and then head back to the upside because it's a bullish retracement. So because even though it's bullish, we're kind of looking at the price being up here, kind of peaking. I mean, ignoring that ridiculous wick there. The price kind of peaks pretty much there, and then just kind of works with it. So at that point, you kind of know, oh hey, okay, now we could potentially go short. It also did a bunch of jumping around in the process, never just travels in a straight line particularly. Came down to here, wicked back up, did a bit of a reaction, but then on this second bounce, we got a super up indicator saying, okay, yeah, that wasn't quite it, but now it really is it. And then kind of up we went, and back down. Nice. That type of volatility is kind of what you want when you're kind of intraday trading, I think. I mean, if I was to extend out that retracement level, you can kind of see how that continued to be relevant in the sense that it very much was starting off as a target support level. The price can kind of come down to here and then bounce, and it's continued to be that. The price came out, wicked below it. That one just bounced directly off it and headed back up. So there's a certain amount of that just being a bullish structure, really, in the sense that that one wicks lower, this one is slightly higher, and even the one after that. So it's kind of like you got your low, you got your higher low, got higher low again, and so on. Well, pretty much a bit of accumulation there, but you get the idea. Maybe look at that one, and then that. It's still doing that uptrend, to be fair. Not much in the way of like signs that that's kind of about to break down or anything. It's looking quite good. All the way up, it's kind of been toying a bit with the excuse me. That wasn't a burp, I promise. It was just touched the back of my throat. Something touched the back of my throat. Not going to say what. So, yeah, it was playing with the 9 EMA all the way up, like in the sense that it was there, kind of like it's like the 9 EMA was kind of pushing the price down, kind of. You could view it that way. It's probably the other way around, but in the sense that the price just couldn't break above it, and then broke above it, and then couldn't break below it in that sense until it did. Then the opposite. So the 9 EMA is almost, I keep coming back to it. It's kind of like a magic line in a way, because it defines the trend so kind of closely, but not quite to the extent that it's hugging the line, hugging the price as it goes. So you can use it as a very good gauge, like a good sort of litmus test of where the price is going. So anyway, yes, the price it did break below it there, reversed to that kind of major wick type of a thing, signaling a price pivot there, and so the upward trend has continued. The green line, the 55 EMA, has also very much, in a broader sense, because it's slower reacting. So that very much has defined the upward trend. I think, apart from there, if the so that actually invalidates what I was about to say, to be honest. But it's if the price really breaks down below the 55, then that would suggest that's probably the end of that that upward trend. As I say, it did there, but managed to recover. It was also because it kind of had that bearish retracement as well, which kind of signals that the price was going to at least come back up to there and probably above. And sure enough, it headed back above. That's now in the step 3 of that bullish retracement, which means that when the price comes down, it's going to kind of, whenever it happens, it's going to, so that kind of like continuing there, price is going to blah, 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 and then just kind of probably something like that, maybe even down to there, and wick down below it, and then to the upside again, if we're lucky. So, but that does seem to be how these kind of retracements tend to play out. I could probably switch on, just curious really to see if I switch on the retracement channels, then excuse me, there we go. What will we see? Some stuff, not quite what I was expecting. Switch those off, actually. That doesn't quite give the read that I was hoping it would. But I could probably actually just draw in what's kind of expecting there. If we want, not the price range. Is it on here? No. Is it on here? Oh, maybe it's actually, yeah, I guess a parallel channel, if I draw that in. Like so. So it's kind of like, if I do that as an extension, spadoing that down and then up, come to there. I'll explain what I'm going on about now. I'll try and stop the mumbling and incoherent warbling and so on. And just explain yourself, man. Right, so on this then, this 50% level between the two, between that bullish retracement level there and that bearish retracement level there, quite often marks out significant things. And sure enough, you can kind of see on there, but I'll actually draw that in as a full extend line. I'll delete it in a sec because I don't think it's going to help this too. Well, I don't know. I say that, but look at that. It's so we can kind of see that 50% level there, the fair value level really, it marked out what was definitely support, clear line of support just there for that price move, and that was back on last Thursday. So the price is sort of supporting there. Lovely retracement call there that just finished, and then the price came down. That's rather good. So yeah, blah blah blah, did that. Then obviously wick down, and then just to the upside. So we could well expect that line to come into play again as and when the price does come down, whenever that may happen, you know. So it depends when the market gets shorted. Is it going to just push to the upside, and you know, the usual kind of relatively thin order book over the weekend, especially with the CME now doing their thing over the weekend. That's going to be affecting the spot Bitcoin price quite a lot, I think, you know, because thin order book, as I said, but active kind of futures trading in the meantime. So it's definitely that. But yeah, so when the price does that, it might well. So rather than doing this, coming like all the way down, then we could instead kind of see that. Then we might look to this line again as a confirmation level of, is it going to break above and going to do that, or is it going to bounce off there, maybe another, and then down, something like that. Depends, really depends. I didn't do the TA jingle. Should we do the TA jingle? Let's just quickly look at these. Market hasn't reacted because everyone now knows he's a lying private key. I think maybe is that a cryptographic joke or something? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say there. So Aussie, hello, good day, Mav. Not the sample tickling the throat. It's save off getting some chippy. It's Friday. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? If he now just came bundling in with like a stack of the fish and chips. That'd be lovely, actually. No, he's off gigging today. Apparently there is there's a band cancelled at the venue where he quite often plays his I think it's bass guitar he plays. I'm not 100% sure. Or he does play bass guitar, but he plays a lot of other guitar type things as well. Guitars, I guess they're called, not guitar type things. But yeah, so his lot kind of leapt at the opportunity, I think, and so they kind of leapt in. So he's at the moment he's traveling to the gig. Hope he gets there on time. He knows. They got the band back together. They're on a mission from God. All the good things. So that's happening. But yeah, it's a good point. It's Free Chippy Friday today, isn't it? But we're not going to play that jingle. We're going to... Where the hell is the thing? Sorry, 1 second. We're going to retrospectively play the TA jingle and then just get back into the TA, I guess. So back in a minute. Righty-ho. And now we just carry on. Yeah, nice bit of cabaret there, just to get us going on a Friday, whatever that means. So let's jump over to this old thing and call in on just how things are going, I suppose, on the weekly and the overall kind of just reckless plummet down to the depths of the crypto winter. So let's switch off a couple of things and just bring that down just so we can see this weekly chart a bit more clearly and do that. So yeah, this is the usual sort of thing that we tend to just check in on during these live streams. Yeah, so because I was drawing this pattern with these price ranges just from the top. I mean, I didn't start drawing it there. That would have been quite something if I'd predicted that, but I didn't. But I think it was maybe probably around about there, sort of like near the start of January, but kind of in a bit, where I started to notice that, oh, this kind of pattern is happening. And I have redrawn this a few times since then. But essentially the crux of this is that we hit the all-time high, obviously marking kind of the peak of the bull run, then is all downhill from there pretty much. So from there, price dropped pretty sharply, still on the weekly, but price dropped 36% and recovered a tad, then dropped 38%, recovered a tad, dropped 40%, or whatever could be next in that sequence. And so, in fact, hasn't dropped 40% yet. That's a bit hypothetical, so I'm getting ahead of myself there. But in any case, we did bounce off the what's this one as well? Oh, I'll try and click it more clickily. Yeah, so the 200 weekly bounced off there, and where we? Yeah, just here. Let's zoom in a bit on that now. So yeah, in fact, wicked quite a way below. The one below that is the 300 weekly. So seeing that as kind of a range, I guess the 250 is going to be, well, obviously somewhere between the two. It'd be interesting how close that got to it actually, but in any case, so yeah, which perv, and not really seeing anything like the sort of just energetic upwards push that we saw last time that kind of happened. Like even that one, there was some energy to that bounce. I mean, yeah, it's kind of accumulation, and it was very much a bear flag in the sense that it was just like down, flagging upwards, obvious continuation pattern to the downside. And this one a bit less so, because it did accumulate sideways for a bit, but then kind of did its thing. So yeah, this time around, I mean, yeah, to be fair, we're only into kind of the first week of that potential accumulation, if it's doing the same thing this time around. But and yeah, I'm being a negative ninny, aren't I? Just give it a chance, for God's sake, because there is, to be fair, there's a strong kind of is that hammer pin candle thing to the upside where just wicked very strongly up and just hasn't kind of plopped back down just yet to make that a bigger candle body. So that actually might well just kind of push more to, you know, if we do see a bit more of that in terms of the candles, that'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it? And depending how far that goes, but that could well also break this narrative, which would be fine. You know, if we've virtually seen the bear market bottom now, I mean, if that was it, if that was actually the bear market bottom, could it be? I mean, I think there's going to be further downside. I think so. I also think that this is probably a bit unlikely, and we're probably not in that kind of accumulation or slight recovery pump sort of phase just yet of this pattern. Because if we look at these, yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that this is just going to turn into another bearish week. I think there's like a couple of days, yeah, just under 2.5 days to go, given the UK time and so on, for that weekly candle to play out. So not much in it, is there, for that to become bearish? It'd have to, in fact, I'd already do this just to be able to measure the damn thing. So from its current price, 63,400, it would only need to drop 0.19%, say 0.2, for it to drop below the open and become a bearish candle. So really not a lot in it. So if the markets do react negatively to the latest Trump administration lies, I hate being so negative about them. I don't want to get political. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll try and stay away from that. But they came in with a mix of good policies and bad policies. Let's put it that way. I was hoping that they would double down on the good policies, and I mean, especially for crypto, but kind of turned out to be a bunch of lies. I think a lot of it, and it's a shame. So those that I think a lot of people, both in crypto land and just in America land, I think, are probably feeling just a bit kind of duped, maybe, about that. The ones who just kind of bought into those good narratives, I think. So anyway, what was I talking about? What was I saying? So we're being tiptoed into communism. Yes, I think it's true. In this country, we're being steamrolled into communism. But yeah, in the US, probably tiptoed in is the thing. Yeah. So anyway, so I think that just seems unlikely that we'll kind of see that type of push. I don't think we're at that accumulation phase. Whether it turns out to be the recovery and then we're off, to the upside, or if it's just like a continuation thing to the downside. But in either case, I just got a feeling that it isn't going to be that. I think it's more likely that it's going to be. In fact, drew that in earlier in the week. I think it's more likely to be that down to that probably 40% drop. Nothing certain. Not saying it with certainty or anything, but it's kind of been following that pattern so far. So it's one of those things, isn't it? It stays valid until it isn't anymore. Yeah. Yep. And must not get political, must not, anyway. So, yeah. The Democrats aren't what they used to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, was there ever a day when, like, on either side of the thing, whatever they got in America, you know, the room, I don't know, do they have rooms in America? They have houses, don't they, and senates. They're on either side of the house. Was there ever a time when politics was entirely non-corrupt, and there was either side was kind of a well-meaning party that was there for the people and just, you know, answerable to the people and so on, or has it always been just kind of a just bit of, you know, the uni party thing, and just everyone's just in it for themselves and so on, and that don't know really. So Scotty, who bought the SpaceX garbage? Get ready for a 50% pullback within the 12 months of release. This tends to be the documented reaction. Yeah, when something is that hyped up and that overvalued, I think you're right. It's it's going to be the way. Let's see. If we do go lower, don't think we'll be there for too long. The candles are getting gobbled up. Look at those wicks. I think you're right that there is that. But do keep in mind that there were these kind of wicks on the way down as well. That time around, you could also just kind of see on the way back up there was severe downward pressure on those. So, you know, I mean, I'm just shaping the narrative to form, you know, what I'm, or I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. Shaping what I see to support my own narrative, I think, is what I'm doing there. But anyway, yeah. So I just got a feeling that that's going to turn into a negative candle, a bearish candle for the week. But we'll see. And I think if that does happen, then rather than these, let me just do this. This would be this would be good optics for the live stream. Might end up being that. There you go. That sort of thing on the way down. So we go up, we go down, nothing changes. Yeah, true. Except we make money on the price moves, hopefully. So Scotty, you vote for your own enslavement, and we fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Governments are mafias. Yeah, it's exactly. I feel a bit sad about it, to be honest. Just, I mean, it, you know, should be more stoic. Just it is what it is. But yeah, in the meantime, just civilization is crumbling around us. I'm glad that we can make money in the meantime, doing this sort of thing. But yeah. So in any case, so if this happens, if that scenario works out, we would drop to that 40%, maybe. You know, I think that, but I think there'd be a high probability that we would drop to that full 40% if this does continue to break down. If that's a bearish weekly candle, as we'll find out in a couple of days, then we could well be looking at that, and then there'd be probably a similar sort of accumulation type of thing. Then maybe that, you know, these didn't really. Excuse me, sorry, just cough right directly into the microphone. Sorry. I think none of these really kind of then accumulated once they got to the upside today. They just kind of did that, reacted sharply and down for the next leg. This one came up, reacted a bit with little nubby little candle, touched the 200 daily, of course, and that was its reaction really, then down sharply for the next leg. The accumulation, the sideways accumulation was always at the bottom of each leg. So hence, I suspect this sort of thing again, and then to the upside, and then probably a sharp reaction, wick up. Maybe actually no, that would invalidate my thing. that's probably the wick, and then a sharp reaction to the downside. If that does, that's meant to be 42%. Should I just adjust that a bit, just so that hello, hello. Oh, it's up here. I wanted to set the. Have I gone mad? Was I already mad? Oh, it's this, isn't it? The things are not popping up that I was expecting. Where's the coordinates? Oh well. Yeah, I think I've kind of lost the plot a little bit there, I suspect. Adjust it like that and see if we can do it. Yeah, there. At least it says 42 now rather than 41. So anyway, yeah, so if it completes that sequence, 36, 38, 40, 42, then, and oh yeah, the upside of these was kind of calculated as well, in the sense that that's what happened. It recovered 21% during that bear flag. This one, it recovered, give or take, 36% during that accumulation, and then attempted recovery bounce, or the 200 daily, 36, 48.5%. I probably did the calculation, and it might have been the next kind of, following that sequence pattern up. Don't know. I'd have to get the calculator out, or find someone who can do maths in their head, because that sure ain't me. But anyway, so yeah, so if it does get up to there, it would be kind of continuing that sequence and then down, and yeah, so that would bring us down to like 42.9, maybe 43,000 as a potential bear market bottom, and that would also bring us into like October, like the very start of October, so potentially September, and that seems kind of on the plausible side of likely. Saturday, that seems plausible. Is what I'm trying to say. If that did happen, so yeah, buy the fear, sell the greed. I think that's exactly it. Is it that way around? Yes, that's what we should be doing. Yeah, I think what the majority of people do, of course, is very much just the other way around. The old FOMO in and then panic sell. But definitely just reading the market. Haven't looked at like fear and greed index for a long time. It's probably at 0. Haven't looked into that. What we could have a quick look at, in fact, is I'll come back to that. I was going to look at the liquidation heat map, but I think first, if I'll just complete what I was talking about here, which is oh yeah, I was going to bring in the Bitcoin cycle highs and lows indicator, which I vibe coded on and did a Mathtopia video on it as well. It's worth checking out. I was probably going to do an update to that Mathtopia video where I kind of extend this with a bunch more stuff. In fact, it might be showing in this bit, because I was going to redo it so as to proper vibe code it, like, and yeah, there's some new stuff that I'm contemplating kind of releasing for this into TradingView. This indicator is totally free, by the way, and it's open source. Just go and have a look. If you search for Bitcoin cycle highs and lows on TradingView, when you go into indicators, you'll find it there. So yeah, added show halvings. Well, it won't show them just here, obviously, because I need to zoom out a bit. But in fact, let's do that. Let's go. Maybe it should. Yeah, that's a halving. 20th of April 2024. So I think it disappears. Yeah, what I was going to do with that, sorry, slight segue here. But what I was going to do with that was tie that in with these predictions, so that you could essentially sort of decide whether you want the predictions to be based on the the last halving price and this sort of thing, or and the predicted next halving price. So it would do a similar sort of thing, or like the gain, hopefully, from the latest halving price to the next bull market high, and or similarly to the the loss to the, or potential gain really, to the next bear market low, that sort of thing. So just make it all a bit more integrated, and then we could potentially add other things into it as well, like the sort of midterm election years in the US, that sort of thing. And then you can just kind of do all sorts of linking up and to see how it affects the price, how accurate it was with the back testing and so on. Anyway, that's probably nothing to do with anything I was going to talk about here, which is, so having brought that in, so we're on the weekly, so that indicator is currently set to make one prediction into the future, one prediction, which is the next bear market low, and so that both the predicted date and the price. The method it's using for that, to predict it for the date, is weighted average, just based on the previous just number of days essentially between each one, and similarly for the price, Fibonacci extension decay, because generally you can just kind of see it in the historic data that certainly to the highs it tends to be diminishing returns, so that's kind of reflected in this. That's just like a slightly smarter version of diminishing gains, I think. Puts a bit more oomph into the calculation. So in any case, and it doesn't ignore the 2011 cycle. So I put that option in, and then just discovered that ignoring the 2011 cycle made the back-tested predictions just wildly inaccurate. It's weird. So even though that was a bit of a crazy first 4 years, it's amazing just how much of a bearing it did have. It was relevant, like even from like all the way back then at the dawn of time in 2011. So anyway, so given that, then that is predicting. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot to mention, back testing this using that method that's selected in the settings. It basically predicted that the 120. It was very very close to the 126,000 cycle top. So it kind of predicted, and like not far off the date as well. It's certainly got the right month. So there's that. And then just so using that same method, then it's predicting the low to be 28th of September and just under 40,000 K. If Bitcoin just follows the same pattern as it kind of has a habit of doing in terms of like broader like 4-year cycles. So yeah, but anyway, so that 40,000, then just under, call it 40,000, isn't really that far off what we're talking about there. Well, okay, it's $10,000 further off, so maybe it is a bit far off, but it's same kind of ballpark. It's within. If I stop wobbling the mouse, 14%. So yeah, maybe for that I should be measuring it that way, to be honest. It's within 16%. So what we might see is kind of like it fundamentally kind of hits that level, I suspect, of like 50K, but maybe wicks down and potentially just touches that low and heads to the upside. But in either case, there'll be all sorts of signs, I think, that we're reaching that bear market bottom. And I put a fear and greed chart on your X. Thank you very much. Probably have a look. Let's look for the thing. Oh, yeah, crikey. We were going to talk about Charles Hoskinson, weren't we? I plumb forgot. First, I just need to sort out his thing. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, okay. So, good old Charles Hoskinson. He threw a bit of a wobbly, I think, and just posted that saying, "I'm taking a break." What is TTYL? Is that Tartar you losers? I'm not sure what TTYL is. I know TTFN is obvious, but anyway, so he said that was posted just not so long ago, like 9 days ago, and later posted that he's back somewhere. He reposted. Yesterday's overarching that's the day after. Overarching response. I did some analysis of the replies on toxicity and possible coordination activity. Results are below in PNGs of the report that Grok ran on around 130 replies. No privacy is breached here, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so Charles Hoskinson is facing a dual problem on X. The first is raw toxicity. Nearly 1 in 3 replies in this thread is hostile, abusive, profanity-laden. No! Who cares? Directed at him personally. That's a bit more badder. Across 6 distinct categories. If there's anger, it's probably for a reason. I mean, if he posts something that then angers people, or does something that angers people, I don't know, just on the surface of this, I just get the feeling maybe that there's a bit of whining going on about you're in the public eye. You do something that angers people, then you complain that people are angry. It comes with the territory. I'm not saying that they should be like just robotic and not have human feelings and so on, but even so, just grow a thicker skin and so on. So the second is evidence of targeting. A subset of that hostility shows coordination signals, including identical language patterns, bots, thin anonymous accounts, and cross-chain references that point toward organized amplification. A meaningful portion of negative replies also reflects genuine community frustration. That's kind of what I'm talking about, really. Financial losses, yeah. If you lost money over this, you're not allowed to be angry. No. You'll be called a troll. Delivery concerns and leadership accountability. Treating all negativity as a coordinated campaign risks dismissing legitimate voices. Yeah, and accelerating the community fragmentation the hostile actors are hoping to cause. And a fun SpongeBob meme to sort of sound that out. So, nope, I'm not leaving after all. Righty-ho. And then a hour and 7 minutes chat about why Cardano is the only ecosystem that can run the world. So they're basically repositioning. So it's this kind of thing about, is this deck chairs on the Titanic, or is it an actual like brave new dawn and so on? Just what's going to happen there. So essentially, yeah, he hasn't left Cardano. There was a bunch of confusion about his status, which, I mean, okay, to be fair, he said, I'm taking a break. He didn't say, I'm out of here, hat on, and just throw a grenade back over his shoulder as he leaves the room. But there was market uncertainty. There's an immediate 10% drop in Cardano ADA's price. Kind of led to speculation that he was stepping away permanently. I guess people would speculate on that because it's there's a bit of that, Anyway, so however, Hoskinson's break was temporary. By the 8th and 9th of June, not so long ago, or no, the 12th, he resumed active communication. He outlined Cardano's repositioning strategy framing the blockchain as an operating system for the world. He's currently driving a narrative that pivots Cardano away from competing on short-term retail product cycles, like DeFi, NFTs, that kind of thing. It's going to start pushing it towards long-term foundational. This is always bloody long-term with Charles Hoskinson, isn't it? Just everything's got to take a long time. I know that's not quite what it means, but long-term foundational infrastructure for global institutions and digital ID. Oh no, and governance. It's becoming a government just surveillance coin, isn't it? Basically, if it isn't already. So, to support this repositioning, Hoskinson has stated that Cardano's ability to reduce the cost of global trust. Ability to reduce the cost of global trust. Oh, reduce the cost. Okay, I was seeing that as ability to reduce global trust. But ultimately, it sounds like that's what it's going to do anyway. But reducing the cost relies on, so going to be like 4 technical pillars. Ouroboros, nice, yeah. The old snaky snakes like that. Well, I don't like snakes particularly. Anyway, Ouroboros, the network's foundational proof of stake consensus protocol, obviously already there, very well established. Extended UTXO, so Cardano specific accounting model, modular structure, so that partner chains, privacy enhancing technologies like Midnight. Privacy enhancing. That's weaselly. Just privacy. Just go for all out privacy. Why this kind of like, yeah, you can have it slightly private. A slightly privacy coin makes a slight privacy coin, which it would be decentralized governance. The network's on-chain tripartite checks and balances system. He remains actively involved as a primary architect, just a long-term institutional focus, and argues that replacing expensive intermediaries with open, verifiable systems is the necessary path forward to the network's survival and growth. Yeah. Deck chairs on the Titanic, do you think? Depends. Talk to you later? Could be, yeah. Tata, all right. Yeah, bit of Tata there. Charles has got zero charisma or personality, unlike myself. Well, hello, and so on. Something like that. Ada, is it Ada or Ada? I always say Ada because it just seems like it should be Ada. Hoskinson, delusions of grandeur, a bit, yeah. Hello, I'm Ada Lovelace. No, I am Ada Lovelace, and so on. Maybe she was Ada. She, don't know. So I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of the thing. That I think that, so the problem that led to all of that, apart from the fact that Cardano was just very, very obviously failing, everything about it was taking too long in the first place, and just big money was just like leaving the whole ecosystem like big time. They're just like, it's just kind of, well, guys, just, it took too long, just bugger it, we're out of here, we're gonna just go and buy XRP or something, just off we go, just so infrastructure costs, it's all costing too much. Leadership attrition, people are just getting fed up. So tap tools, the basically an analytics platform, very prominent, kind of a key part of the Cardano ecosystem. It shut down because they couldn't afford to run the infrastructure anymore, and also kind of their main programmers, main technical people left over the course of a year. Like 5 of their senior executives left, so they didn't have the leadership, they didn't have the coders, they were screwed, and couldn't afford to just lure any kind of couldn't really appeal to any top-notch developers and leader types to come back because they couldn't afford it. So just screwed, had to shut down. Inefficient governance and lack of treasury, that ain't good. So they transitioned to kind of on-chain decentralized government, which very much just kind of hindered the distribution of capital. Hoskinson did kind of say that the treasury and community governance system didn't move quickly enough to support struggling projects, because there were proposals that were put forward that would kind of fund ecosystem companies, but those are routinely rejected by the voters in the governance thing. Declining volume and revenues, of course. They missed the boat. They missed the gigantic window of opportunity that they had over the years. So with the network was generating lower transaction volumes, therefore lower fees, reduced fees. Projects therefore had limited revenue models, like the JPEG store, the JPEG store, JPG store, NFT marketplace. They couldn't sustain it. They couldn't sustain their operations. So they shut down. Hoskinson was saying that the closures were a direct result of really bad, in quotes, market conditions, kind of which starved platforms of the liquidity that they needed. Just it's terrible, really. You kind of need a project that's going to survive the bear markets, and that's obviously where they just very went they survived a good few, but eventually you feel like the chickens came home to roost. There's also like the market perception, just like but in terms, so like, is it terminal decline? Is Cardano overall just done for, or is this restructuring going to be like a thing that just it's going to be the phoenix rising from the ashes, stronger than before, better than before? I don't know. It's not universally like seen as doomed, apparently, but it is widely acknowledged that they're going to be undergoing kind of a severe, painful consolidation phase. So there's hope. In other words, the prevailing view among the core, the kind of the Cardano maxis, excuse me, is that the current collapse of older dApps and DeFi platforms is a necessary restructuring rather than the end of the network. That's cope, isn't it? So basically, these just what were kind of like major just DeFi operations and decentralized apps and so on. It was all looking so good. That all just failed horribly, and now the core group are kind of layering in the cope and saying, "Oh yeah, that honestly that needed to happen." And it's a good thing that all that money was lost and all those people left just horribly frustrated, and they all left and created Fartcoin, no gases. Boom, boom. Yeah, I think you got it. That's the one. So now, so Charles Hoskinson now kind of wants to position Cardano as a operating system for the world. So it reframed the network as foundational infrastructure intended for institutional government, as I was saying before, institutional governance, digital identity, and large-scale decentralized coordination. Isn't that kind of what it was before? It's just that they failed in one kind of very broad scoped market, and now they're kind of aiming for a different one where they probably fail again. Excuse me for being a bit cynical about that. It's just that the opportunities were there. It's just that there were better alternatives, faster moving alternatives that just ate up that entire, sewed up that entire market, and Cardano was just kind of squeezed out, wasn't it? Because it was, yeah, the slowness, they didn't stand a chance, I think. So it's sad, but I've still got a whole bunch of Cardano coins. They were worth quite a lot at one point. I forgot I had them. They're not worth obviously nearly as much now as they were. It's very, very sad to see, and I genuinely hope that they do manage to kind of just salvage something out of it and reinvent themselves and do better, good things and so on out of that. They're gonna and whatever rebuilding they need to do, that they probably want to just kind of make sure they do that, at least some significant part of that, in time for the next bull market, and which means really to get in there, talking about like September, October, really, to just get a significant new foundation, get the concrete laid and so on, and just kind of take it from there. Yeah, that was all, even though that was kind of the main thing for today's live stream. I guess it also came in as something of a digression, because I was on my way to look at what I think it was Aussie. Yeah, I think Aussie posted. Let me just have a quick look. The Fear and Greed. Give me a sec. Just going to bring that in. Zoink, zoink, zoink. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, please do leave a like, and if you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. If you're watching on Save with Crypto on YouTube, we're also streaming to Maftopia. If you wouldn't mind also maybe just opening up a browser tab on Maftopia and playing the live stream there, that'd be highly appreciated, and just trying to build up the number of watch hours on there. And if you're watching on X, hello. Thank you to people who have commented so far on X, and kind of do whatever X allows while a live stream is going. Kind of retweet. I don't think you can like, but retweet if you can. Certainly leave a comment. That'd be awesome. Thank you. What else? Yeah. Okay. So tired of winning. Yes, I think that's basically the thing. What I was going to have a quick look at as well was liquidation heat map. Let's do that. So just on the 24-hour initially, we could see that more likely to head down, I think, short term, before some kind of potential rally there, because we could. So where are we at the moment? Sorry, one second. Bring that. Oh, the wrong thing. Bring back the right thing. Yeah, so we're currently at 63,377. So, sorry. Bring back the right alt tab thing. This one. So 63,000. Yeah, kind of there. Wouldn't take much of a drop to come down and eat up that liquidity just there. If it dropped below kind of that, 631, pretty much if it just dropped below 63,000, I think it could very much then just kind of hit down to that rather tasty large amount of liquidity just there. That would be a very quick drop, I think. Whoomp down to 627, then probably just kind of slurp its way down through all of that as well. Just how far down it goes is just the thing, isn't it? Just seems less likely at the moment. Just looking at this short term, weekend kind of thing. Trump pump notwithstanding, and it probably isn't standing in any case. So less likely, I think, to head to the upside, because it would need to get all the way up to 639, pump up to like 64.4, but there just isn't all that much there isn't much like enticing amount of liquidity there compared to the downside. I think if we zoom out a bit, maybe the 3 month so now all of that is 3 months. That looks a bit different, to be honest. I mean, so I suspect that, as I say, like, broader macroeconomics notwithstanding and things, just purely in terms of the chart, and orders, open orders and so on, that so short term, probable dip, I think maybe over the weekend. Then slightly longer term, maybe kind of towards the end of next week, possibly, or halfway through next week, that sort of thing might see another kind of climb up. 676 could hit that liquidity that's just there, but you can see the accumulation just there. So maybe at 67.8 or thereabouts. So don't know. There's that. We could probably bring that in, and if we look at, maybe just pop back to one of the other charts now. Switch off the Bitcoin cycle highs and lows, and reset the view. Oh, and also bring back Quadzilla, bring back, etc. So bring that in. Yeah. So what are we looking at there? Okay, yeah, that's it on the weekly. Let's bring it to the, oh, in fact, yeah, sorry, bring it to 4 hourly. Have a look on there. And so now, what level is that? That's, oh no, that's higher up, is it? It was probably that 67 area that we were just looking at, but on the liquidation heat map, where, yeah, the what am I thinking? Well, yeah, I just think on that it's not looking all that convincing. I think, I don't know, that we'd see a push to the upside. But that said, it's kind of done that. We might see that, and then that, to bring it in line with that level there. The old saucepan pattern, maybe. Should publish a saucepan pattern, I think, because it's probably a thing. I don't know. There's that, and I guess if it's the other way around, it's kind of that. It's kind of more the saucepan on the head, isn't it? And the trip to the doctor's office or whatever, doctor's surgery. But so I'm bullish on Project Bluebeam at the World Cup. I haven't heard of it. What is this World Cup thing of which you speak? Project Bluebeam. No idea. Sorry, you might have to fill us in on that one. Is it going to be like a bit of a quick pump and quick exit kind of a deal? Do you think? See, so yeah, that is a possibility. Looking at that pattern, that could happen. So look at it on the 4 hour still. If we were to look at kind of the downside, where's the liquidity that the liquidation heat map was just talking about? It's probably actually that, isn't it? Like if we brought in the sorry about the very messy chart, actually, just delete that for now. I was going to say if we brought in the VRVP, just for a second, VRVP, visible range, volume profile, doink. Just hide my drawings for a sec so you can see what's going on. Yeah, so there, the point of control on that is basically kind of skewering through there. And funny enough, that is exactly where the price is at the moment. But there is also this down here. So I was thinking that what the liquidation heat map was showing in terms of tasty liquidity to the downside is probably this, isn't it? Have a look, remind ourselves what we're looking at. So yeah, as I was saying, 3 month looking like we could see a bit of a pump to the upside. It's a little bit halfway between the two though. So I'd say that's even a bit 50-50 really. Look at that. But yeah, if we go back to the 24-hour, there was that, which is kind of 631. Then this tasty liquidity. Oh, okay, it's actually it's 62.5, 62,500, just there, and then a bunch more down to maybe, I don't know, 62. So therefore, so that was 61. Bloody hell. It's the end of the week. My brain's just tiring, I think. Bit like my waistline. Got a little spare tire, got to sort it out. So yeah, 62.1 down to there. Right. Fix that in my sad little brain. So 62.1, wasn't it? So can't even see the bloody price. Oh, you go. 63.3 is where the price is. Let's do that. You kind of see a bit more. 63.3 down to 62. Yeah, okay. So that was, I mean, I think what that's looking like is just probable downside. I don't particularly want to kind of pin my colors to that particular mast, because straight after this live stream, the price will just rocket to the upside. It's how it happens. That's kind of why I prefer to look at scenarios. Just say like, oh, bloody hell, you decide. I don't know. But just look at kind of in terms of just, you know, we can get confirmation. We can look at levels that will give us confirmation of like whether there's going to be an upside scenario or a downside scenario or a sideways scenario. So, but in this case, it just feels like there's going to be downside. Might be a bit of a obligatory pump at 230 given, but yeah, as Scotty pointed out, the like Iran basically kind of nixed Trump's announcement about the peace deal like virtually straight away. So I think it did probably just nullify that particular whatever effect was going to come from that. But in any case, yeah. So we had the source spin thing like that, and we had the price come down, so probable that and up. But looking at this, there's a similar kind of thing there. It's just, you know, view it in slightly simplistic terms, but price headed up, across, down. It feels like it's going to come down to that level. Not saying it definitely will, but it just has that feel to it, doesn't it? Is a point of control buying or selling? I don't know. I guess I zoomed in a lot, and I just all over the place, all over the place. So have a look at this in terms of. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, yeah, sorry, just work thing. So yeah, in terms of that, if I do that, just see where it redraws to, if anywhere. Oh, it's up there. Okay, do that then. So I guess we're looking at this just, is there going to be a short-term pump or a short-term dump or just further consolidation? So that therefore I kind of zoomed in a bit on that to get the idea. That looks like sell side liquidity to me. As in there are probable long positions, leveraged long positions that are open, and just looking at that, just those are going to get liquidated. They're probably like within a minuscule iota of being liquidated right there. So here, just on the 4 hour, the 55 EMA is proving to be a bit of a level of resistance on there as well. So I suspect that's going to generate a bit of downside. Because look at all that there, all that liquidity, all that order volume, just like yum, down to probably there. level there, essentially. So keep in mind, still talking about short term. Yeah, just seems like a downside thing in terms of probability. If it does head to the upside, it'll be a pretty sharp move in any case to there, to pick up whatever's on there. And we do have a retracement level on there, which is 71.8. That's the 4 hour. Could probably bring in some of these. That's the 45-minute retracement. Does that add anything? Yeah, a few actually. What did that bring in? So, yeah, so that brings in a 45-minute retracement level from the 45-minute time frame, basically. One there, which is at 77. That, yeah, get back there eventually, but probably not straight away. Then, of course, this one here at 73.8, and that's very much just kind of tying in with that obvious kind of level of liquidity just there. So, and oh, did it also draw in that? Yeah, oh, those two. Okay. In fact, beautiful bullish retracement level just there. It called that like kind of amazingly well, to be honest. So we had that kind of price went up, that 45-minute retracement, started plotting there, saying the price is going to come back down to here, wick down, and then head to the upside. Bang, bang, wick down, boom to the upside. It did. And then bounced off the 55 EMA. This bearish retracement level, it's the other way around. So it kind of did the down. Another one there, actually. Wow. That worked out well as well. Down, up, and then down. But this one here, it did the down. It's doing the up. So very, very likely down, because these do just play out so often, like above 90% of the time. So the stats are built in. So you can just kind of go and have a look at them, like real-time stats. So yeah, it's very likely to come down to that level there, just like boom down to it, and then possible like drop from there, I think, given it's a bearish retracement. So bring on all the drawings, all the scribbles. Let's delete some of these. So also, I'm probably about to wrap things up in a minute. I think just I've rambled on for maybe a bit too long. So just delete these. Just give me a sec. So yeah, let's do this as well. Think, and then back, and then that again. So yeah, probable. So there's a point of control still, just where we kind of where the chart landed, basically. So therefore, the point of control is there, kind of skewering through that liquidity, that accumulation, basically. There. But yeah, so it's likely to come down to there. So in other words, it'd be like, boom down to there, probably a bit, not quite that dramatically, but or it could be that, it got single candle moves of that sort of size. So it would bring it down to 61.6. And then I was going to say that because that's a bearish retracement level, we could see something like that down to there, that sort of thing. So yeah, we could also bring in, just very quickly, the 12-minute retracements. Brings in a few more. Oh, that's a beautiful one right there. Called that rather wonderfully well, and that one as well, in fact. So yeah, just levels to watch for, essentially. Just keep in mind. That's probably about that. Oh, a few comments from Aussie. Let's have a look. So high volume, yeah, definitely at the moment. I think it'd just be really interesting to see what happens over the weekend, as I was saying before, because like it'd be significantly thinner, like order books, lower order volume, but CME still actively trading, and general volatility given just things at the moment. So yeah, it'd be a kind of an interesting weekend for that. Just wild swings and so on. Looks like a W pattern winning. Hope so. I mean, you're right, actually. That is ding, 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 ding. Very much. So W pattern is bullish. It is indeed. A W pattern, also known as a double bottom, is primarily a bullish reversal pattern. It typically appears at the end. You know, I'm going to bring up maybe predictably, I don't know, the price action patterns widget on maftopia.com. If you go to maftopia.com, this is actually on the front page as well. Let's just go to there. And scroll down a bit. There's a whole bunch of different things, widgets and things that kind of derived from various science and technology type videos that we do on Maftopia. So this one then was the price action pattern. So price patterns learning tool. There's a whole video on that, and so let's bring in the reversal patterns. Double bottom W pattern. So essentially that. I think this is Save's favorite pattern. I think chart pattern, the double bottom. So price sweep slightly below the first trough. I think first trough, first cheek, second cheek, slightly lower to collect liquidity, triggering stop losses. Before aggressively reversing upwards with that sudden, like, forced buying pressure, pushing it to the upside, as it tends to be. So that's the lower trough variant, like the standard one, essentially. Then we've also got the oh, sorry, no. What am I talking about? Is that way around? My mistake. The higher trough is a standard one. So the price tests support that. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, it's more bullish that way. It also kind of turns into a higher low, which is kind of just the thing, isn't it? That you kind of start to see. Okay, there's a definite reversal there. Things are now the trend is turning bullish. So price test the support level twice, just bang and bang. But the second trough forms slightly higher than the first, stronger bullish signal than the others, indicating earlier buying support. Yeah, the buyers have kicked in a bit faster, and probably on that sweep down, just all of that kind of all of those kind of short positions that were still open would have been just all like forcibly closed, and so the next one is just like that sweep then and on up. So the level trough is kind of, that's not a level trough. I have to fix that actually in the widget. But anyway, the price test the support level exactly failing to break. That's level. Just the butt cheek kind of helper indicator. The visualizer isn't level. It should be. And then the sweep was kind of that. So let's put it back to that one. Thanks for mentioning that. That's reminded me. So have a good weekend. Take care of yourselves. Oh, bye, Aussie. Take care. Bye. The cheeks. Yeah, you're right. So sharp-eyed of you. You obviously have an eye for these for these things. So let's see while we're here, because I think I pretty much have finished, to be honest, for the day. But I just wanted to quickly mention there's a new Maftopia video coming out soon. It's actually going to be about the Odyssey, and just bring it over here for a sec. It's going to be about the Odyssey and just the various translations, because obviously there's been so much controversy around the new Christopher Nolan film, and especially I think the fact that it was based on a particular sort of feminist translation with Emily Wilson's translation of the Odyssey, and but it's not quite as clear cut as all of that. There's more to it, so it's kind of a just balanced video, actually looking at the linguistics side of it and the translations and so on, and all of that kind of good stuff. So that's going to be coming out soon, and probably we'll do a video about Cardano, I think, from a similar sort of science technology kind of standpoint, just like how the hell are they going to reinvent themselves and have that succeed. I think it's they're gonna have a bally old time over it. That's for sure. And there was another one I was going to do, so I can't remember what it is. But what the hell was it? To do with some fascinating thing or other, anyway. But I wanted to point out this. I did this video just a few days ago about mosquitoes, and it absolutely bloody tanked. It's ridiculous. I think it may have been because it was it may have been slightly critical of Google and something like that. But I actually thought the reporting in it was fairly balanced. But I think in any case, they didn't like it, and I think it got utterly shadow banned. 21 views. Like normally these go to like that was like 2,500. The Angine de Portrine one was sort of similar, 663. That one was pretty awful. But again, that was also one that was maybe it's just a cautiousness. The YouTube algorithm maybe doesn't like things that could just turn a bit sort of political or like lawsuit heavy, that sort of thing. So there was a bit of that. Then I mean that was 1,000 views and so on. You kind of get the idea. Oh, SpaceX Shell has panicked. That one was bad. That one was good. OpenClaw, and so on. Just but that's the worst performing video that I've had on there, like ever. I thought, oh, I know, I'll spend $5 on just advertising it through YouTube, and just at least to just like get the thing moving, so you just get the wagon unstuck, so it can just start rolling by itself. But they they disallowed the ad, and it wasn't because the ad itself. It was to do with the content. They wouldn't say what specifically about the content, but they definitely didn't like the content of that video. So if you're interested in that, do go and check it out. It's a good video. I spent a whole weekend putting that together. Put a lot of work into that. So yeah, go and have a look. That'd be good. And maybe it's an ick factor. I mean, it is about mosquitoes, but in any case, so that's that. And do get Quadzilla, usual thing. And I think I'm going to say bye-bye. Is there a good way to wrap this up? I didn't do the jingle, the what's in maths specimen jar jingle. Maybe I'll save that for when Save is back, so we can do that on Monday. And yeah, there's what else we can do? I don't know. We keep talking also about doing a Timex giveaway, so there's kind of that as well, because so not so much a Rolex giveaway that we end up never giving away. It's going to be a Timex giveaway that we will give away, but it'll probably be a secondhand cheap one that we bought off eBay or something. And so there'll be some little slightly pointless competition around that, and so got that to look forward to for Monday as well. So in the meantime, have a absolutely great weekend, everyone, and really appreciate you turning up and listening to me blathering on for this amount of time. And of course, Save will be back on Monday as well. You'd be glad to hear. So she'll hear from him as well. And let's hope his gig goes well tonight. With his blues guitar, bass guitar, his guitar, I think. I really do wish that I could play an musical instrument properly, because I'll probably go and join in then. I mean, if his band allowed it, obviously. I'd probably just play the recorder or something, just join in. That I'm sure that would be well received. But in any case, yeah, okay. Thanks, everyone. Sayonara, ciao, and have a good weekend. And got to click another button. That's going to be so good if I just finished it there. Now I've blown it. Talked on for too long. Anyway,